Now the damage, we are down 2% in early trade, and it is only 10:15, so the market was expected to open down 2.5%, so there could be some more room for it to fall this morning. This is the third day in the row the Australian Stock Exchange has opened lower, and it's really due to these fears of the coronavirus and the impact it's having on the global economy. Global markets overnight all had pretty tough days. In America, the Dow Jones fell 3.15%. It's now at its lowest level since October last year. The Nasdaq fell about 3%. And in the UK markets and the German markets fell 2%. Japanese markets have fallen 3%. So investors are really spooked, and we've seen that trickle through to the Australian Stock Exchange today. It's down 2% in early trade. I had a chat to Jess Amir from Bell Direct earlier, and she's got a different take on this. She sort of says that with shares being this low now, maybe now is actually the time to buy.
Investors should also bear in mind, one, the world's best investor, Warren Buffett, said, although there are scary times in markets such as these, he's actually not selling down his holdings, but he looks at times like these as buying opportunities in the right companies, of course. Secondly, we're expecting the government to intervene and cut rates either in March or April. And thirdly, investors should also be considered tilting their portfolios to parts of those markets that tend to outperform when the economy cools. For example, healthcare.
And Ed, we've got a half-yearly report out from Woolworths today. Any update on the salary underpayment scandal?
Yes, Annalise, just a short time ago, the Chief Executive of Woolworths, Brad Banducci, told people on a conference call that the number of employees underpaid had actually increased from 5,700 to 7,000 employees. The amount of money owed to employees has also gone up from 300 million to 315 million, plus an additional 80 million in interest and other costs. So when you add this all together, over the last 10 years, Woolworths has underpaid its staff close to $400 million. And have a listen to the boss, Brad, speaking about that just a short time ago.
What we should be judged on, first of all, is just addressing the issue for our team. So, that is our major focus. Of course, getting the exposure right is important. And then thirdly, making sure the issue does not come up going forward. So that's where the priorities are. In terms of consequences for management of what's happened, I think we're also very clear that while myself and the chairman have already, my sense, foregone my short-term bonus, and in the chairman's case, taken a reduction in his chairman's fees, we do expect there to be additional consequences for management, but we wanted to really get through this process and have a look at what those are. And I think we've been very clear, and I've sat down with my colleagues on the group executive team, that we do expect it to impact collectively the group executive team's short-term bonus as well. We just want to have clear heads and thoughtful processes in how we do that once the dust settles. But we're not unrealistic, and we are committed to doing the right thing, and we do expect consequences.
So the Woolworths CEO also said they have now paid back $78 million to employees that were underpaid between 2017 and 2019. So there's still 8 more years of underpayments back to 2009 left for Woolworths to pay out. And I'll be chatting to Brad Banducci later today with Sky News interview. Annalise?
Thank you. $400 million. That is an extraordinary amount. We'll certainly have coverage of that right throughout the morning. Now,